Minecraft is a game all about creativity, building, crafting, mining, mods, anything of your imagination. Most commonly, people play on servers, with friends, mini-games, stuff like that. But I decided to break off from my normal and try to play hardcore. I wanted to see how long I could last, what I could build, and I didn't record any of it. And that might come as a surprise. You're making a video off of it, aren't you? Why didn't you record any of it? The reason is, I didn't have a good enough computer, but I enjoyed the world and I didn't want to quit just because I couldn't record it, and that's why I'm making an 1,000 days world tour. You'll be able to see the random farms and builds that I did, whether they worked well, whether they didn't look the best. I still had fun within my world, so let's get into the exact moment when I hit 1,000 days. But before I actually get into the world, I want to get this out of the way. This is a very slow-paced video. It's more just a showcase of my old world. Since editing this, I have stopped this world. I just had the file and still wanted to finish this because I did this quite a few months ago. But I'm not continuing this world anymore, and the Ocean Monument project I will be talking about a little bit, and I am not showing it because I was trying to finish it before the 1,000 days. I failed with that. And then I continued to do it, but afterwards I kind of just lost interest in the world. So I stopped playing. But I put in a lot of effort into this world, and I figured that I should still show it, and this is the video. But again, this is a lot slower paced, so if that's not your style, I do apologize. And because of slower pacing, the video is going to be pretty relaxed. So hopefully you enjoy that, and let's get into my 1,000 days. This is what I've been waiting for so long. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Day 1,000. I have been in this hardcore world for 1,000 Minecraft days. Seeing this happen in the actual world that I have is something else. I have been playing in this world for 1,000 Minecraft days. Now, yes, there's some cleaning up that I still have to do, but overall, the entire world reaching this time feels so special. So, because I've hit 1,000 days and I have not recorded anything else prior to this, this section here is going to become a little bit of a world tour. So, when starting this world, I didn't have a graphics card that was able to run recording, and because it wasn't able to run recording, I never even attempted. I started attempting a while back for some certain things, but the attempts, I would go over and the frames would be choppy. It would only do like 1 frame per every 3 minutes, and then it just looked terrible. I hated how it looked, so I stopped recording. But over this time, I have gotten a new graphics card, and I'm able to record. Starting off from spawn, where I started this video off at. Next, we have the... And frames? I don't know what is happening for the portals, but portal frames are just dropping. So, first thing that we really have in our world is this swamp pretty close to spawn. Right there. And this swamp, I made a slime farm. Because it's the smart thing to do. Within this, slimes spawn on the mushrooms because they're light level 1. It's the only thing that can spawn compared to other mobs. And then right under here, the minecart goes around, picks up the slime balls, and then drops it off into the chest, which makes sure that everything is dropped off properly. And then as soon as it's done, it sends itself back again. So that was some of my very first farms, just because I like making farms. I'm weird. Some people absolutely hate it, but I've enjoyed it as long as I have the resources, and I have plans for every single farm that I make. and I have ideas for what I want to do and everything of the such. Looking back while editing this, I don't know what I'm talking about. I had no plans. I thought I did. I definitely did not. Axo meaning axolotl. It's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. So these were the very first two. So we have, I believe, Lucy and something else. What are the names? Lucy and Sally, which I learned afterwards that the name of Lucy actually is what the pink axolotls are called within the game files. So we have Lucy as the cyan and then Sally as the pink. And to be honest, I don't know why I chose those names. But so I have been trying to get a blue axolotl for some time now and have constantly failed. And then another thing that I have within this mod pack is, or world, is some of the vanilla tweak stuff. Right here is the creeper farm. Trapdoors because they're shorter mobs than zombies and skeletons, and then slabs in order so the spiders cannot spawn, making it so it is only creepers that are able to spawn, and instead of using stuff like cats, which I could probably set up on the edges just to scare them more towards the center. Warden gone. That is just because I have a warden machine, so it shuts off the warden because I wanted to go and get a lot of stuff. There's a pillager outpost right here that is on top of an ancient city. And I use that to get my bad omen. Right here is my frog life farm. Now it's nothing special at all. Magma cube goes in, starts dying to this, and then becomes a small magma cube. When it becomes a small magma cube, the frogs down here eat them, and I get frog lights. And frog lights have seriously become one of my absolute favorite, one of my favorite farms, especially because it was so simple. The only thing that was annoying was all the snow, but as long as you have shulker boxes, that's fine. And this is my ender chest, so I have a redstone, firework, stuff for books, different beacon chests, nothing used for the rest, glass, so different potions, scaffolding, golden carrots, which I need to top off on, totems, sugarcane, bunch of gunpowder, and then extra tools that I could use for if I go into a certain situation and I need something. So there's anvils for renaming, combining different name tags, and like pretty much every single tool is maxed out. And then all the way over here is my wither skeleton farm. In case if I need sand, I have a desert portal. I have a ghast farm. It is a very simple design, but before I made a creeper farm, I decided that I wanted to make a ghast farm. And then I was also trying to respawn all of the dragons, so I needed those for end crystals. I have since made sure that I have gotten all of the dragons killed, so right here's a stronghold, and it is within this portal is a gravity duper. You put gravity blocks right here, the pistons pull them up and push them and all that stuff, and there's nothing too special. But I have gathered all of the dragons areas, meaning when I start mining out pillars, I won't need to actually do it. I've also gathered some dragon's breath just so I don't have to. I made a shulker farm at the beginning of this world because I wanted shulker boxes, as any sane player would, but sadly the farm has broken because the shulkers died. Set up a honey farm in order to get honey. Have a lot of glass bottles. Pretty much each of these are filled to the brim with glass bottles because you need them, otherwise it's just gonna fill up the dispensers with them, so you need to have glass bottles in there for it to actually pick it up. And where we're going right now is my main home location. I found this really nice looking, I guess is what you could call it, iron farm. because it's something every world needs. So it's a pretty good iron farm. It works really well, especially because I'm in this area quite a bit. And then I have a little trading hall that I made off the top of my head. It's nothing too special. These very first ones sell me glass. These, I believe it's these last 4 don't. Yep. So it's these last 4 that don't, but these ones do give me glass and books. And I really like trading for glass. So I made sure to put those guys in front so I can always trade with those. Right here is a small villager breeder that I just have to throw in some food. They'll drop down into this pit right here, along with the other ones. That looks extremely cursed. Okay. Oh. Okay. And then little push out system, so pushes them out and then brings them up there because I was making some new ones. This is where my original trading hall was. So these are where all the librarian dudes were. I had them all down over here, and I moved them all out. Just so I don't have to constantly go mining for redstone, I made sure to get a lot of clerics. And then for selling iron, because I have an abundance of it, I got these guys, and then I also made sure that I'd be able to get tools, because you need tools, need armor, weapons, and then able to get buckets of tropical fish. And as you can see from right underneath it, it says golden carrots. My skin is an axolotl. I really like axolotls, so I have my golden carrots as buckets of tropical fish. And then a bunch of Fletchers for when I was first starting off. A small little cactus farm. Nothing too big, but gets me some green dye. That's all I need. This little tower piece right here is a cobblestone farm. Again, I made this on the go. I don't always plan my builds, which is why this wall right here is kind of bleh. And I also really like gradients, you could tell, because I do the light, and then gray, and then up to there. So I'm going to try to stop veering from gradients because I need to work on more different type of builds. But I decided that having this one as like a dark thing would make sense, just for the fact that it is a cobblestone farm. Because I made this world in 1.19, I have mud, and I really like the look of the bland mud and the mud bricks, so I have made a massive, and by massive I mean just a decent sized wheat field. Before I had many emeralds, this was a little bit of another source of emeralds, so I'd get pumpkins. I have a small lava farm, sugarcane before I made a sugarcane farm, which at the moment I don't have it running because I destroyed it. And right here is my little graveyard area. As you can see, it is very, very empty, other than this one station right here, and it is for the first pig I have killed. For those who can figure it out, I don't kill pigs for a certain reason, and the only one that I have killed was around day 440, and it was because I was killing a zombie, and the sweeping edge of my sword happened to slice the pig at the same time, killing it. Felt very bad about that, but that was the very, very first pig I have killed. Shulker farm. Very broken shulker farm that's still running because of the minecart. What it's supposed to do is there's supposed to be shulkers up there, which then it picks one up if the one down here dies, and then the snow golems shoot at it, but then the shulker bullet kept on killing them, so shulkers died, making the farm not work anymore, meaning I have to get another one. And I've already had to repair this farm once, and I'm thinking about probably destroying this, getting all the resources back, and just making one in the end, because I don't really need one here in the overworld, and I could probably make something else on the large ocean lake piece. Right here was my frog building, just so I was able to breed frogs up. Again, mob heads. And I also have a silenced thing, so if I silence a mob using a name tag, I get that. So, it silence mobs and then they make no noise. Meaning my audio does not have to be cluttered with cats or villagers. Leaves decay faster, which I still also have a mod for that, but eh. There's new mini blockheads that the wandering traders sell. If a villager randomly dies, I like knowing where it is, so I made sure I got that. Villager workstations, so if one is not taking anything, I could figure out where it's trying to go, or where its current one is. Anti-Enderman grief, for if I happen to do an end project, I want to make sure I'm able to have Enderman not grief the project. Double the shells, because I feel like it just makes sense. So, yes, that might be a little bit too over the top, and then gets me too many shulker boxes, but I feel like it makes sense. And it does not make all of them drop 2 shells, does it? Maybe it does, I don't know. Mob heads, and another portal coordinates for if I need to actually make some sort of nether portal that causes me to do a lot of things. So, those are the data packs that I have. There's another mod that I had that allowed me to customize armor statues, and I tried to make it so the sword was down into the ground and they were in like a holding position, but then they wouldn't do that, so I kind of gave up and just allowed them to be in that stance. And in here is my lag machine. You can probably see my frames have just dropped massively because of all the block entities of the item frames, of the chests. So while I'm in here, if you see that I'm lagging and that I'm having frame drops, that is purely just because of this. So it is functional, but it is not the best. Bunch of different valuables and stuff. Goat horns, more name tags. Don't know why those are in there. A few pairs of elytras, and here are a lot of the heads that I have. So I have gold blocks, diamond ores, diamond blocks, ancient debris, pumpkin, and melons. Those are for decorations. Those are just because I'm partially rich, because it's not like I'm going to a shop and buying stuff with the diamonds. So I just have some ores that I'm able to use to throw around for decoration. Bunch of different ones. I've killed a few wardens. I have dragon heads, but those are just from end city ships and killing dragons. And then those are some more passive mobs. Bunch of shulker boxes right here, just in case if I needed extra storage, because of the shulker farm that I have originally made. But that is pretty much it for this area. But this is my main base. I am planning on moving out and making a bulk storage system. Hopefully one that is quick. And back over to this area, because I did kind of skip over it. So right here, I added a little bit of shrubbery, make some bushes, and then used a bunch of the poppies that I had. Then right here is just a little bee area, so I get honeycomb from this area, just because I don't really need that much. Just a normal honeycomb area, and they are able to pollinate on azalea, so just kind of have those as their pollination stations. This is supposed to be like a greenhouse type of area, so this is a moss farm. I'll probably have more moss than what I'll need for a little bit. And in here, I was kind of bored, and originally I polished over right here with a little bit of grass, and so I wanted to transform this little area that I had down here as like a little lush cave base. And a lot of the decoration that I have right here, I did not do. It is Essentials. Essentials hosts Minecraft servers through basically the same thing as LAN, but you're able to invite your friends as long as they have the same mods, and then they're able to join your world. So I have 2 friends that I've invited to this world. One of them has kind of set up their area down here and gave them a few shulkers. They've got some stuff down here, and I've kind of let them live in this area. Otherwise, they transform this area even more into more of a geode kind of thing. This area right here was all done by me. I just kind of did that for fun. I was bored. Over here is a little barn. I don't know what to call this. I'm not too happy with the roof, but I was just trying to fill this in. I made a sheep farm over right here. For emeralds, for the longest time, I was using pumpkins and melons. So I have pumpkins and melons being automatically grown and planted. That is mainly my world. And last but not least, I'm going to show off the raid farm that I was talking about a little bit earlier that I have dreaded. Oh, I also forgot to show, I have a massive hole into the bedrock it took me 5 hours, I think. This design, where I got it from at least, is from Chapman. This is one of the best raid farms I've found, but the reason why I dreaded it, you can see that there's this layer right here. That is where I started the farm. I started the farm at exactly sea level. No, cannot be sea level. No sea level. Sea level is not allowed within this farm. You have to be 1 block higher than sea level. Meaning that when I made this originally, it was all at this level. The entire farm. Every block within this farm was pushed down by 1. Meaning, when it wasn't working, I wasn't sure why, and the only way for me to fix it was to mine out the entire thing and rebuild it 1 block higher. Luckily, I didn't start too much on the storage system, so that one I didn't really have to do. But the entire rest of the build, all of the villagers, all stations of the villagers, because there's one right there, there's one right there, there's one right there, and there's one right there, and then there's that guy up there. All of this was 1 block too low. I sat here for about 3 real-life days, contemplating my entire life and rebuilding all of this. Glowstone, gunpowder, that's how I'm now getting my gunpowders from this place. Redstone, I no longer have to buy from the villagers. And because of the mob heads, I've had to sort them out themselves. A bunch of evoker heads, ominous banners. I believe that, yeah, it's stacked up all the way right there. Max spider eyes, max sticks, glass and bottles galore, which definitely helps with the bee farms. Glowstone, which I'm able to use for lighting. Sugar, which don't have much use for. A bunch of gunpowder, and again, a bunch of redstone, because those are the stuff that I mainly need, is the redstone and the gunpowder. And these are the shulker box loaders. I believe they are 6-speed shulker box loaders. From this farm, it gives me a bunch of emeralds. The only other thing is this gold farm, which again, I will link the design in the description below, assuming I could find all of these farms. But this is my 1,000-day hardcore world, and it has taken 2 Minecraft days in order to continue showing this. And this has been, so far, an hour of footage. I guess the thing to do is show advancements. And I lied about that. I'm not going to show you the advancements. Editing, I was taking way too long to actually show them. I just don't have all of them done, so nothing too busy or important to worry about. Instead, I'm just going to scroll through my statistics. Jumps, 128,129. Mobs killed. Sneak time, almost a full real-life day, almost 24 hours. Time played. Now, this is what shows that I've been playing for the 1,000 days. I have played for 12 real-life days and about a little over a half a day. 301 hours is how long I have been playing this world. And time since last death is the exact time I've played, meaning I have not died once in this world. Times mined, these are the highest mined stuff that I've done. Times broken, a lot of stone axes. Times crafted, a lot of sticks because of villager tradings. And for some reason, times crafted still also counts for emeralds. So, or like trading stuff, I guess. So, that's why I have so many glass, because I've done a lot of glass trading. Times used, I've used my pickaxe the most. I've also used a lot of sand, as you could probably guess what that's from. My axe, stuff like that, picked up. I've picked up a lot of emeralds and a lot of sand. Again, that's because my ocean monument draining, which once I have that project fully finished, I will show that as a video at a later time. And dropped a lot of emeralds. That's because I was trying to craft them all into emerald blocks, so that's why there's so many. That's so I could just fill them into shulker boxes. And again, shulker boxes, shulker boxes, shulker boxes, and crafting. I think I just had too many in my inventory. I don't care for seeds. So, yeah, that is a lot of my highest statistics for each of those. But otherwise, this is the world. Thank you so much for coming in and watching me do a world tour. And if you made it through the whole video, which, I mean, from about an hour and a half of footage, dwindling it down to about 25 minutes, I'd say is pretty good. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. It's kind of weird to post this video even though it's been months and I kind of quit the project. But I figured it was still a pretty big milestone for me and that I should post it. So here is the overall thing, and if you did happen to enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. This is a second channel. I have made it into a second channel now. So hopefully at some point you'll get recommended to my first channel. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later. Peace.